Welcome back to Man Down Sports, man. Y'all can see from the thumbnail, we're going to talk about Bronny James. Bronny James just had a fascinating ball game with his G League team, South Bay Lakers. He had 16 points. He did take a lot of shots to get those 16 points. He took 15 shots. He was still 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. So he's still, unfortunately, we still got to call him blank man as long as he's 0 for from behind the arc. So he's still going to be blank man. But it's good to see it's good to see the young man get out there and get into the double digits, and see some balls going in the hole, and put some points up, right? 16 points is pretty good. And now I will say this though, it's he seems to be more aggressive, which is good. It also seems like and I'm just looking from highlights and from looking at the stat sheets on what happened. So I can't really give you a real story of the game because I didn't watch it from start to finish. I try to get a hand on that footage because I want to see for myself. But it seems like Quincy Oliver was less aggressive, right? It seemed like he was less aggressive. LeBron was more aggressive. So I don't know if LeBron is going to get his shots up at the expense of some other players. I mean, he's already dug himself into a hole as far as him not playing road games. So that's time with your teammates that you're not going to have. And it's hard for me to believe that someone who was ranked 333rd out of 336 players in the G League, which means he's not that good. It's hard for me to believe a guy that's also missing half of the time with the team because he's not traveling with them on road games is also in the starting lineup. Right. I think that's very peculiar and odd, but maybe not so much peculiar and odd because everything else has been given to him, as if, he don't have to earn anything. Right. So, if you go all the way back to high school, don't know how he got McDonald's All-American. The rumor is LeBron made some calls, got him in McDonald's All-American. I'm not going to speculate on how he got his scholarship to USC. Let's say USC really wanted him. But everything after that, the draft, you already know, his talent didn't get him drafted. The guaranteed contract, his talent or his potential talent didn't get him that guaranteed contract. Those minutes in the first game of the season, he didn't earn that. The minutes he got against Cleveland, he didn't earn that. And his exemption from traveling with the team, he didn't earn that, right? And so we're going to get into all of that stuff. Somebody said you got to have some type of talent to get drafted. Yeah. You got to have some type of talent. I will say that he can play, but the people that he's in the NBA with, they can really play. And he's not on those guys' level, right? No, I don't think he's a bum in basketball. I would never call nobody a bum. He's not a pro though. No, we're not gonna say that he's not a pro. He got drafted because his daddy's a pro. He's not a pro, right? But we gonna get into all of that. Doesn't add up. 6 field goals, 0 threes, 12 points. Put that with his 2 free throws. That's 14. Where's everyone getting 16 from? That's what everybody was reporting. He took 16. He scored 16 points. I don't know. Maybe they gave him 2 to start the game with. Maybe he don't have to earn points either. If he don't have to earn his roster spot, he don't have to earn his guaranteed contract. He don't have to earn his draft pick. Maybe he don't have to earn his points either. Maybe you just give it to him. But as y'all come on in, man, hit the like button, hit the share button, get some more people in here. We got a lot of things we got to talk about, but I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm gonna open the phone lines up, and then we're gonna get out of here. Everybody can get their night back to them. I know Dominique just got finished. Well, she's probably not finished yet. I think she's just wrapping up a really good live that she did, speaking on some of these topics as well. And that live was pretty good. So shout out to Sports T. But as usual, this episode is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code Man Down Sports and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Plus, now that it's football season, you can follow Man Down Sports as we reveal our favorite picks from week to week. Like I said before, pick your favorite player, pick higher or lower, choose your dollar amount, and win some money. It's just that easy. Make picks, win money. We also want to thank Underdog Fantasy for partnering with us, and we want to thank you for helping the channel out by using Man Down Sports on Underdog Fantasy. All right, so let's go ahead and start this out. Stephen A. Smith, about a week ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, was on the Full Send podcast, and he was getting interviewed, and they asked him about this Bronny James situation. They asked him about, what's next for him. At this time, they had finished doing the Ken Griffey photo op, the first game in LA, the first game in Cleveland, and then he was just, demoted to the G League. So it was still a hot topic about what's going to happen now. Like, we didn't see him perform well in the preseason. We didn't see him perform well in those 2 games he got in. Now he's in the G League. What's next? So he asked Stephen A. Smith about that. And I'll give you a little bit what he said.
I think happens for his kid once he's out. Like, do you think they're kind of doing this as a favor?
But there's no, first of all, there's no question.
Yeah.
Let's cut the BS.
Sure.
There's no question there's a favor. Bronny James did not do what it took to earn a spot on an NBA roster. That's the bottom line.
Not even to get drafted like that?
Well, you could question getting drafted, because sometimes they do draft off of potential. And there's plenty of people that get drafted in the second round that we know we don't know what their potential is.
But to play, you're saying.
But to play opening night, to be on an NBA roster, and then listen, this is what I've said about Bronny James. He's a wonderful kid. They got a wonderful family, their first family, the NBA. I don't think anybody can deny that, with Savannah and LeBron and their kids and the job that he's done. Incredible role model. And his son is a shining example of that, because he's a very lovable kid. Talk to his teammates, high school, college at USC, and the pros. He's a real lovable guy in the eyes of everybody that you talk to about him.
I'm going to stop it there, because he said something that he kind of said really fast, and you got to kind of take that in, what he said and what he meant by that. And he said similar things to that in the past, and nobody ever checks him on that. And it's not really that important to check him on. So maybe that's why people give him a pass on it. But for him to just come out and just breeze by that, LeBron and his family, it's such a good family. We're going to call them the first family of basketball, right? Did he say basketball or NBA? Either way, he said he's the first family of the NBA, the first family of basketball. And so these titles that we give LeBron that have never existed before just fascinates me. Like, people are afraid to hurt his feelings, right? So we make up these new ways to prop him up and give him props, right? So because he's not better than Kobe, or because he's not better than Michael Jordan or Tim Duncan, because he's not the greatest of all time, because he's not better than Kareem, we just can't come out and just say he's not as good as those guys. Just can't say it. We got to find all these new things to give LeBron. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples of them. Charles Barkley, when he tells people that, no, man, like, seriously, if you grade him and Mike, if you grade him and Kobe, LeBron is not that. He's not on their level. He's not as good as basketball players is. But what Charles Barkley would go back and say after that is LeBron has had the greatest career of any basketball player, right? I've heard Barkley say that a lot of times. That's his spiel When he say Mike and Kobe is better than LeBron, he turns around and say LeBron has the greatest career we've ever seen, which is not true. Kareem has had that, right? From high school all the way to the pros. Then we got other people that say, oh, but he's the best all-around player. That's what Marbury says. Marbury says Michael Jordan is not even close, but LeBron is the best all-around player when we all know LeBron doesn't play defense anymore. He hasn't played defense for the last 7 to 10 years. All right. So all around means offense and defense. That's the entire game. Offense and defense, offense and defense. When they say all around, only thing they mean is he can get close to triple doubles on a nightly basis. You don't got to play any defense to get a triple double. You can assist the ball, you can score the ball, and then you can hunt rebounds down. None of that includes defense. You can actually leave the game on the defensive end like it's hockey. Just in transition, just jump off the sideline and go sit down on the bench and then come back for offense. You can actually do that and still get a triple double. Right? That's how pointless a triple double really is. And people use that as a metric for almost everything. MVPs and greatness and all that stuff. Triple doubles just trumps everything, including defense and including winning, which is weird to me. But we'll get to that when we get to this Nikola Jokic topic, right? But we just find new ways to prop James up. And now the first family of basketball, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be the first family of basketball? You're the first family, you're royalty. Like the first family of the United States, president, his wife, and his kids. So the first lady of basketball is Savannah, and LeBron is somewhat like the president. I mean, he called himself King James, so they are royalty in his eyes. But this is what Stephen A. Smith is calling the first family of basketball.
But the reality is that now that this has happened, you get to harken back to the resume. You were a McDonald's All-American. You averaged 14 points a game. Most McDonald's All-American players, they have better numbers than that. Mm-hmm. And then you go to UFC after you had the heart ailment and what have you, and then you go to UFC and you don't do but so much, and that's fine because his health was an issue. And then you get drafted 55 overall by the Los Angeles Lakers, and you're playing on opening night, and you're inserted into the lineup in the second quarter so you and LeBron can enter together. First time in NBA history has done that. King Griffey Jr., King Griffey Sr. in attendance for the game. All of that was special. At some point, you as Bronny, you need to say, I don't want this anymore. This was nice. Dad, I appreciate you. I love you to death, man. It was great that you did this. I'm happy that I could have been a part of it, but now I got to go earn my stripes.
Okay, remember he said that. He said at some point, Bronny has got to say, okay, you got me drafted. I didn't earn that. You got me minutes in the first game. I didn't earn that. You got me minutes in a game against Cleveland in my hometown. I didn't earn that. But he's saying at some point you got to draw the line if you're Bronny and say, Dad, thanks for everything. You got me here. Let me go earn it. Let me earn it on my own, right? Let me go do it by myself. So remember that.
I got to be in that G League. I got to show that I'm worthy of being here because you can't always be here to protect and cover me, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying he hasn't done that. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that's what needs to happen if it has not happened.
It kind of sucks for Bronny too, because it's like his debut could have been in a year or two, and maybe it would be like a crazy debut for him. I feel like it's kind of selfish of LeBron
to develop in the G League. You never
know. That's what I'm saying. But his first debut could have been like
if he had more time.
Well, exactly. I'm not hard on LeBron about that at all. LeBron has been such a treasure for the league. He's earned the right to have what he wants, and if he wanted that moment, that's fine. My point is.
That's another thing I don't like when he does that. He said, I'm not getting on LeBron for the nepotism thing and then getting his son drafted when he didn't deserve to get drafted, because he said he's given so much to the league that he's earned that and deserved that. That's where we are, another way where we part ways at. You cannot earn something like that. So they really believe they are the first family of the NBA. LeBron James is the king. The NBA and basketball in general is his kingdom. and he can do whatever he wants inside of his kingdom. He look like Stephen A. Smith is really trying to sell that they're the first family, they're royalty. All right. LeBron's the king, and he can do whatever he want in his kingdom. This is what they want us to believe. This is what they're selling. They're saying it's his prerogative. He earned it. He earned it. And that's why I want to start this whole conversation with the first family, the royalty that they are, King James, Prince James, and their kingdom, the NBA, they can do whatever they want in it, right? He's earned that by winning 4 rings and playing for 22 years. He's earned the right to be the king of the NBA. This is what Stephen A. Smith is selling, right? So we'll go with that. We'll talk about it, which is very interesting because this parallels the exact same story that we just described. Here's a prince who has a father who's the king, and his prince is not earning certain things, and he's pampered and he's given things, and he want to go earn it on his own. I really do believe Bronny James want to earn this stuff on his own. Ever since he was in high school, when LeBron first said he wanted to play with his son, and they would ask Bronny James about that, he would always say, "That's my dad's dream." I don't know if that's really what he believed, but either he believes that or he was coached to say it. He said, "That's not my dream. That's not my goal. That's my dad's goal." So imagine your dad wants something. You don't necessarily want it, but your dad is forcing it on you, and you just got to go with it. Right. From what I can remember, Bronny James would always say, "I just want to play in the NBA. I just want my name called. I just want to be drafted." Correct? That's what he wants. So 2 different things. Bron want to play with his son. Bronny just want to be drafted. When you go to the parallel, because since LeBron likes to remake movies, he remade Space Jam, that flop. He remade House Party, that flop. So I think he's trying something new with reality TV. Instead of me remaking movies, let me remake a movie, but make it reality. He's really living out the movie Coming to America. He's really leaving it out like he's King Joffrey Joe or King Joffrey James, and Prince Hakeem Bronny James is his son, who want to do things on his own, right? So let's get into the movie, right? So Prince Hakeem, the movie starts out, it's on his 21st birthday. Remember when he got up and it was his 21st birthday and he went through his normal routine where he was going to go, bathe, brush his teeth, and use the bathroom in the morning, all that stuff. And everyone was waiting on him, hand and foot, rose petals at his feet, all this stuff, right? Remember when he said this?
It is my 21st birthday. Do you think perhaps just once I might use the bathroom by myself?
Most amusing, sir.
Wipers!
He asked the helper, "Look, man, it's my 21st birthday. Can I use the bathroom by myself? Can I go in and hold my own wang by myself and just use the bathroom, man? You know what I mean? Can I do that for one time by myself on my 21st birthday? Can I start handling it by myself?" And he looked at him and was like, "Okay, that's most amusing, sure." Wipers, right? And then all the wipers come in, Kendrick Perkins, Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, Gilbert Arenas, they all come in, and these are the people that's gonna wipe. That's what they do in the media. Those are the wipers. The media, it don't matter what shit LeBron or Bronny takes, the media wake up the next morning and they wipe it and clean it up and try to dress it up to make it look good. It don't matter what he does. Everything they've been doing, the wipers has been coming in to clean it up and clean it up. You know what I mean? That's what they do, right? But Bronny, Prince Hakeem is saying, "Look, I want to do all this stuff myself, man. I just want to be independent, right? I want independence." And then he was talking to his dad and his mom about independence.
What is it, my son?
Well, Father, first of all, it is things like this. The rose petals.
You are the son of a king. Why should you not walk on the petals of roses?
If there were no rose petals, I would still be the son of a king.
From this day forth, anyone who throws roses will answer to me.
Father, it is not just that, the cooking, the pampering, the bathing. Actually, I'd rather enjoy the bathing, but just for once, I would like to cook for myself, wipe my own backside. And why can't I find my own wife?
Aha! So that's it. It is normal to feel anxiety about meeting your queen.
I was so nervous, I became nauseous. But over the years, I have grown to love your father very much.
So he's asking them, can I do this stuff by myself? Because Bronny has been getting carried by LeBron all this time. But I remember when he first started playing AAU and they first started putting their games and their highlights on YouTube. And I was watching Zaire Wade. I was watching Bronny James at the time. And Zaire Wade got good before Bronny did. Bronny was not ready at all. And this was probably when it was, I don't know, maybe 10. And one thing I noticed is that Bronny had no ball handling skills. He didn't move like Zaire Wade moved very, fluent, fast, athletically at that time. His body was, a little bit more developed than Bronny. Bronny still had baby fat on him, and he was slow. He just didn't move. Like, the way what he is now as an athlete is phenomenal from how he started, right? So you could tell Bronny wasn't that good when he first started, and it was players on the team that was better than him, shoot better than him, dribble better than him, pass better than him. But Bronny James was the point guard. Like, Bronny James had 0 point guard skills when he first started. And I'm watching this dude play point guard. And I'm like, man, that's got to be because his dad's LeBron James. Like, there's no way a coach, what I was seeing on that team would say, Bronny, I want you to be the point guard. There was no way. So his favoritism started very early. Very early. So he's getting positions and starting lineups in his AAU teams just based on his name. That's fine. I ain't even have an issue with that. It is what it is. That happens. You know what I mean? If your dad's the coach, you go get favoritism. So it is what it is. That happens, right? But I'm just giving you a timeline of how his favoritism happened early and just continued on all the way to now, right? He gets to Sierra Canyon. If he wasn't LeBron James' son, Sierra Canyon probably wouldn't be that interested. But he gets Sierra Canyon. He wasn't good enough to be All-American. And initially he really wasn't, because he wasn't ranked high enough that where All-Americans are ranked at. But somehow a late entry, here comes Bronny James. He's an All-American now. And Mikey Williams is not. Wonder how that happened, right? Rumor is LeBron James made some phone calls. Then after that, he goes to USC. I say that's legit because I haven't heard anything about that. Let's say that's legit, right? But we know the draft pick was all favoritism, all LeBronism, like my boy Ticket say, all nepotism, right? That's what that was. That draft pick, he didn't earn it, but it was his dream to hear his name called. So his dad is going to make sure he get his name called. I'm LeBron James. I'm the king of the NBA. I'm the first family. I'm the royal family. And my prince is going to hear his name called. And when he comes out here, he's going to be a prince and he's going to be on the throne. All you peasants can kiss my behind. Right. And how did he let us know that that there were peasants and he's the prince? He let you know very early that y'all was peasants. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats. It's hilarious. In other words, he just looking down on everybody. He just looking down on everybody, right? From his throne. He's the king, right? So that happens. And then the other favoritism started. The guaranteed contract for 4 years. So he's automatically got a roster spot. Clutch Sports coming in and saying on the interview, if the Lakers, if somebody draft him that's not the Lakers, he ain't play. He going overseas. He not playing for y'all, and we not signing no two-way contract. He ain't going to, all this crazy stuff. Then he get in the G League, stink it up. He's still getting minutes in the games. I'm like, man, this is crazy. So all this favoritism is what we was witnessing, right? Bronny probably feel like Hakeem. Like Hakeem was getting pampered and giving everything given to him, but he's trying. Look, for once, I'm 21. For once, can I earn this stuff? I know you can give me anything, but can I earn this, please? Please let me earn this stuff. He's begging to earn it, right?
I want the woman to love me for who I am.
I want the league to love me for who I am. I want the league to say that I can play. I want the league to say I'm in the league because I earned it. I want everybody to look at me and say, yes, he earned it. He put the work in. Bronny James didn't really put enough work in to get drafted. He's not good enough. But JJ Redick went to the podium to tell everybody, oh no, he earned this. Not given. JJ Redick said that, but he's the only one saying it. Everyone else knows, like, nah, you shitting me. I know, I know what I'm looking at. I know he didn't earn it.
I want the woman to love me for who I am, not because of what I am.
And who are you?
I am a man who has never tied his own shoes before.
Wow. Believe me, I tied my own shoes once. It is an overrated experience.
The king said, yeah, he said, man, who are you? He said, I'm a man that ain't tied my shoes before. My own shoes. Bronny James said, I'm a man who ain't earned nothing in basketball before. I haven't earned one thing in basketball before. That's who I am. And then the king was like, I've earned something in basketball once. Trust me, it's overrated. because he didn't earn the Miami rings. The bubble ring don't even freaking count. I think the only ring he really earned was Cleveland. This is for you, when he was crying. Because he didn't cry with the Miami ring because he knew it was, I mean, this was easy, man. I got a super team, like, and the NBA want me to win. Like, this is simple. The one in Cleveland, he cried because he earned that one. And he was like, hell, I can't do that. How the hell MJ do this 6 times? Because if I got to go through all of this to get a ring 6 times, I don't think I'm better to do. That's why he only got one in Cleveland like that. Outside of a super team or a pandemic, one ring. He ain't no different than Dirk. He ain't no different than KG. He's no different than Giannis. He's no different from Jokic. He's on that level of a one-ring superstar. Because if he didn't handpick all this stuff, if he didn't maneuver the way he maneuvered, he don't get those rings in Miami. He don't get that bubble ring. Right? So that one ring he earned, that's what he was saying. It's an overrated experience, trust me. Because if you cheat and get the ring and you the king, everybody go say you earned it. Like, I got people in the media, I can do whatever the hell I want. And the people in the media, my wipers, they go come in and just clean it up for me. Yeah, I can say I can make all the mistakes. I can say stupid stuff and do stupid things, and they just go come clean it up and wipe it up for me, change my pamper. You good, Prince. Trust me, it's an overrated experience to earn your keeping the league. It's an overrated experience. Just take the handouts. He said, I'm a man that ain't wipe my own, that ain't never tied my own shoe. Trust me, I've tied my shoe once. It's overrated. He really said that. That is exactly what LeBron said.
Not because of what I am.
And who are you?
I am a man who has never tied his own shoes before.
Wow. Believe me, I tied my own shoes once. It is an overrated experience.
That's hilarious. I've earned the ring before. It's overrated. LeBron ain't earned nothing either. So he don't mind giving all these handouts to Bronny because he know that he got media members in place. He got wipers in place that's going to come and clean all that mess up for him. Right? So now we get Bronny in the G League, getting minutes he ain't earned, over people getting shots he ain't earned. And what I don't like about this whole situation is that he's taking money out of another player's mouth, or food money out of another black family's mouth and off their table and out of their bank account, potentially. And I just say Quincy Oliveira's name. That could have been his contract. That could have been his money. He ain't seen no money that was going to help change his family dynamic right now. He's still trying to earn it. So this 4-year guaranteed contract that Bronny got that's worth $4 million or $5 million or whatever, Quincy and his family would have took that money and it probably would have changed their life. The money that Bronny got for that contract did not change his life. It did not change his life. He already was playing on an NIL deal in USC. And then, of course, he's royalty, right? He's royalty. So he didn't need the money.
He's got his own money. And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
He's royalty. He's got his own money. His face is on the dollar bill. He's got his own money. And you thought it would be a good idea to draft this dude, give him a 4-year guaranteed contract, and fill up the last roster spot that y'all had, and then bring in a kid that's 10 times better than him, more ready than him, ready to play, and need the money. But you so selfish that you had to give it to Bronny just because you had a dream that would boost your legacy if you played with your son, which you still could have done without giving him a 4-year guaranteed contract. You still could have done that. He could have been on the deal that Quincy is on. It's a 2-way. Quincy could have had the guaranteed deal with the money. And then y'all still could have called LeBron or Bronny up for that one game in Cleveland and that one game in LA. You still could have done that. You didn't have to take that money from Quincy or whoever else it could have been potentially. They needed that money, but that was selfish of them to do that. And I feel for Savannah because she's got to hear people speak this truth so aggressively because it's so disgusting what his dad did. So they got to, and Bronny catching strays, it ain't his fault. I really do think Bronny want to earn it. His dad just won't let him. It's not his fault. Right. And Savannah got to hear all this stuff on Twitter and on in media, and she think it's disgusting because that's her son. She look at him as her, that's still my baby. Right. And I want to feel sorry for Savannah, but then I think about Quincy's mom. And she's looking at Quincy like that's my baby. And I got to see him get done wrong like this. This man breaking down crying in a press conference. Because he knew he had worked hard and outworked everybody and outperformed everybody. I ain't gonna say everybody, but at least everyone that's a young player, the rookies, the second-year players, the third-year players, even Max Christie. They were saying that no one has outworked Quincy. He's won every drill when they ran. He's won almost every shooting drill. I think he's won every shooting drill at practice. He stayed out to practice and had one with JJ Redick. And he said JJ Redick beat him the first time, but the second time he came back and Quincy destroyed him. So when they had shooting drills, shooting contests, he's won all of those. He's won all their sprints. He plays better defense. Remember, he was a track and field guy in high school as well. So he got the legs, he got the lungs. And then he shoots the ball, shoots the lights out. If anybody deserved to get that guaranteed contract, it's a kid like that. Not the Prince. Not the Prince that's got his own money.
He's got his own money. And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
So these are my issues with the whole situation. I want to hear from y'all though. So I open the phone lines up for a couple of phone calls. And y'all call me and let me know what y'all think about Prince of King, Bronny James, and King Joffrey James, you know, how they handled the whole situation. But shout out to Bronny for stepping down from his throne and playing a G League game. But, you know, he too good to go on the road with him. My guess is that he seen the road jerseys and was like, I can't play in that. What is that, velvet? No, I can't play in that. I ain't going on the road. I ain't going on the road. Y'all need some new jerseys. You know what I mean? So that's my guess. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the phone lines. Let's see what y'all think about the king and his son, man. And if not, you know, if y'all ain't got nothing to say about it, we can move on. We can make this even quicker. But I just thought y'all might want to have the phone lines open for that one. Let me get to some of these comments. hypocrite. Just flew in like Superman. He said, Tyson, you're a hypocrite. Who is Tyson? This must be somebody in the comment section. He said, I never respect the false king. All right, caller from Indiana. What's good? What's your thoughts?
What's good, brother? What's good, brother? Man, first of all, man, shout out to you, man. That was a beautiful analogy. A beautiful analogy.
Yeah. Hey, the parallel just fits so well. Like it's amazing how well that parallel fits.
That's just perfect. So shout out to you first and foremost on that. That was beautiful. And second of all, man, I think you hit it. I think it's dead on the head. And I feel like, I mean, when it comes to King Joffrey Joe, I mean, even before he earned it, allegedly, he was getting that treatment. So, like you said, he really hasn't earned. Like you said, that one ring. That's that one ring that he got in Cleveland. That's the one. And I really nothing to say. Man, I really just called to compliment everything you said. Man, you was at this joint on the money, man. You just round of applause.
Yeah. My son works. He didn't like that. G League, what? He gotta grind and earn it? Oh, hell no. Nah, call the Prince back up. He up here with us, man. That's what that was.
There's no coincidence there, man. It's so obvious, man. So it's right in front of our face. And like you said, people just gotta accept it. And people don't want to accept it, but they telling us, people like you said, the good with arenases or the wipers or whatever, they just telling us to accept it. And it's like, nah, this ain't how it's supposed to be. And y'all know this ain't how it's supposed to be, but y'all just, y'all wiping so well that that's why people start saying, man, are y'all getting paid? Because y'all going too hard. It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense.
Wipers, that is crazy, man. That is crazy. So who would Simi be in this situation? Is Simi Gilbert or Simi? Who would Simi be in this situation? The Arsenio Hall character. Would that be?
No, it gotta be the dude that don't play. What's my man?
I think it's Rich Paul.
Rich Paul.
Yeah,
Rich Paul.
Simi gotta be Rich Paul.
Gotta be. Dead on the money.
All right, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
Hey, no doubt, keep doing it, man.
Yep. All right, let's get two more good ones like that one, man. That was a good call. Let's get two more. SWAT said, I don't really feel bad for Savannah. At first I did, until I think about all the other moms that they really think that they got the right to be the billionaires and then have the kid that is not good and still be prioritized over a family who needs the money and got the kid that's actually good. Right. So they want us to feel like they can't have their cake and eat it too. You want us to feel sorry for you, right? And be like, how are we not feeling sorry for the person that's less fortunate, who also has the better athlete? Why are we not feeling sorry for them? A mother who would have been their foot. Hold on. A mother would have been put her foot down. I think. Put her foot down after hearing how LeBron having the media and talking about her son. Yeah. I mean, maybe she is trying to. I don't know, but you never know what she's saying. She could be saying, you better fix this. You better make sure my son gets his minutes and gets his shots. You get what I'm saying? You better make, all that stuff. So many people fighting for the Simi role. I think Rich Paul got it. I don't think nobody can out-Rich Rich. Nobody can out-Rich Paul him. He's got it. The wipers, because at least Rich Paul is getting dividends by capping and doing all this stuff. But the wipers, what is Kendrick getting? What is Shannon Sharp getting? They're just getting a close proximity to LeBron. They're getting a friendship with him. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting much. Yeah, the wipers, no, who you don't get we got only 77 likes. Y'all gotta do better than that, man. Put those likes up, man. Let's get 200 likes in here. Really quick. Y'all gotta do better than that. Space Jam 2 contradicts reality. He accepted his son gaming, but in real life rushed right into the league. Yeah, that kid was a gamer in that movie, wasn't it? That's interesting. Man, I forgot about that. Savannah ain't mad at this. So she would have said something. in public. I think she did say something. She did say something. Yeah, she said it was it was nasty on social media. That's why Bronny had the fake injury to be pushed to be the starter night, while Quincy wasn't as aggressive as usual. Yeah, I feel for Quincy, man, because he in a rough spot. All right, phone line is up there. I'll leave it up there for about 10, 15 more seconds and see if we can get one more call. If not, we'll move to the next topic. But yeah, when I say the boy got his own money.
And baby, when I tell you he's got his own money, I mean the boy has got his own money.
That boy got their own money. Hey, that movie always tripped me out when he pulled that money out and showed his face on that $100 bill and that thunder hit. Oh man, that movie was done so well, man. Savannah don't care about critics. Her hubby is LeBron James. See, I don't think it worked that way, big dog. I don't think it worked that way. But that's a good thought to have. Yeah, this is lightweight hilarious. It's a good thought to have, young disciple. I'm glad you're here, man. This next topic for you. Savannah body language might say something else, but she did defend Bronny when people came after him for taking that white girl to the prom. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a white girl to the prom. I didn't understand the backlash. I don't either. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm sure I took your show and made it. Oh, and she's doing shows around your time without even telling you. It's yeah, you don't. You misinformed. Like we both are well aware what we're doing. Trust me. Come on, man. And no one took anything. We share around here. She part of the team, so she couldn't take it if I wasn't sharing it. It's we're family, so yeah, don't say that, man. You can't cause no divide with us, man. We good. No, we good. We good. Nah, but thanks though. I mean, thanks for the concern, but no, we good. All right, let's get to this next topic. Yeah, of course, it's always teamwork, man. People don't know, man. What y'all? I don't know. It ain't like that around here. All right, so we get to this Kobe topic, right? So this is what made me think about this is because I was doing a show. I can't remember, maybe 2 shows ago, and one of the callers called in, and we was having a conversation, and we was having a conversation around shooting, and we was contrasting LeBron and Kobe Bryant as far as shooting, and I think the caller said LeBron was a better shooter than Kobe. And I was like, real, that's weird. And he referenced the field goal percentage. And we had the conversation, and pretty much what I was trying to say was if he's such a good shooter, then why is everybody going under his screens when he uses a screen? When he's in the screen row, why is everyone going under? And his reply was that the only reason why people go on the LeBron screen is because they fear his drive that much. So here it is in his opinion. Here's a good shooter who is so good as a shooter and so much better as a driver to the basket that we're picking, all right, we'll give you the jump shot because your drive to the basket is so much good. That's half true. His drive to the basket is dangerous. But when they choose to go into his screens, it's basically because he's weak as a shooter, as a jump shooter, especially off the dribble, right? So he's weak at that. And they were playing to his weakness. We'll go into the screen, we'll live with his jump shot. If he hits a couple of them, we're fine with that. Right? And the opposite of that was Kobe, was where people don't go on the Kobe screens. And his reply was that the reason why they don't go over Kobe's screen is because they don't fear him driving to the hole. And I was like, man, there's so many defenders who've been on podcasts, Shane Battier, Tony Allen, Ruben Pat. It's so many people who have went and talked about guarding Kobe. And what I remember a lot of people saying was he had no weaknesses. And there was really nothing that you can take away from him. He was good at everything, including driving to the hole. But I let Tony Allen explain it from his own experience in his own mouth.
I mean, Kobe, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest
he
in peace,
talked
Mom.
about like you were the toughest defender to guard him. What did you watch film on Kobe D. Wade Bron and say, hey man, this is what I'm gonna jab him, I'm gonna crowd him, I'm gonna give him space because they don't like space? Was you going through that whole process, or were you just saying, I'm gonna watch enough film where I just got a feel for what I need to do anyway?
No, honestly, with playing against the Lakers, you know, obviously we played them in the finals, and just, you know, when you go in the playoffs, they give you that booklet.
Yeah.
Back then it was CDs. You'll get a CD, you got to put that DVD in, you got to watch it, and I would just watch his moves because I was like, damn, if I get a chance to stick him, which Posey got majority of those minutes to stick him, and I end up doing the same thing in 10, but I just watched all his moves, like what he like going right. If he go right, he might drive. He get too close to the rim, he might reverse dunk your ass. He might, you know what I'm saying? He go right, he might fade right. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like nothing you can take away from him. You go on a pick and roll, you can't go under. You got to fight over every screen. And then a lot of things what people don't really know about or don't really talk about is he like hitting the offensive glass. Like you got to box Kobe out. He be quick to throw that elbow in your back and get a rebound and put it back up. Probably dunk on your ass. And so I said, you know what? Well, I can't just stop him, but I'm gonna make it hard on everything that he do. They do this triangle offense. I know this coming to him. So when it's time for him to flash to the elbow to get in the triangle, I'm gonna deny that. My best defense for him is gonna be
not letting him get it.
Not let him get it. You get what I'm saying? And if I do let him get it, I'm forcing him left. He gonna have to just take off on me because he could do too much going right. And so his whole thing was when he catch it and I, you know, get in my stand and force him to his left hand, he would reject going left and go to the right. You know what I'm saying? And try to get his pull-up off. So now I'm confused now. He didn't got the pull-up off now. Now he gonna do the same thing, but now he gonna head fake this time. Yeah. Okay, I ain't going for the head fake this time. Now he gonna drive to the right. Now he gonna fade going right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He just had so many attributes to his game that I said, you know what? I'm gonna just live with the contest, man. If I could contest all his shots, we'll see where it fall. And I get discouraged neither, because I mean, you know, Kobe could go for like 6-7 in a row.
No doubt.
And it's like some guys would just be like, hey, come on, switch. We can switch. You know, you get back to that huddle, you whispering to somebody like, hey, yeah, you get him this time.
Yeah.
No, man, I want all that smoke, man. Come on with it. And he said that I'm the best defender, but between me and you, bro, we never had a conversation.
All right, so all I heard with all of that is basically it ain't nothing you can take away from him because he had no weaknesses as an offensive player. He didn't have a weakness inside. You couldn't foul him putting him to the free throw line. If he didn't have the ball, he was just as dangerous. If he was in the post, he was dangerous. If he had the ball, he was dangerous. If he was in the ISO, he was dangerous. If he was going on using screens, he was dangerous. Mid post, he was dangerous. Like it was hell dealing with him. And he said you couldn't go under his screens. He said you absolutely could not go under his screens because he was such a good shooter. He was trying to get to that jump shot. He had spots on the floor just like MJ. If I get to that spot and I rise up, I don't care if a hand is in my face or not. I'm putting up a high percentage shot. But the only thing you can do is just contest, like Tony Allen said. I contest, and you hope he miss. If I play great defense and contest all his shots, the probability of him making as many of them as that, you know, there's going to be a detriment to my team. I'll go down a little bit if I'm contesting all of them after I have physically played him before he got the ball. Because he said my best defense against him was when he didn't have the ball, when I'm holding him and denying him the ball and being physical and trying not to let him get the ball, right? Which you know he's still going to get it eventually. But if you made him work just to catch the ball, at least I'm wearing him out a little bit, right? By the fourth quarter, that's going to count, right? I can play that game. You get what I'm saying? So those are the type of games you got. Look, before he catch the ball, I'm gonna make him work. If I'm an offensive player and he's guarding me, when I get on the other end, I can also make him work by playing defense and defending me. And that's your best defense against him, because he was like, as far as once he caught the ball, there was nothing I can take away from him. This is what Tony Allen said. So for people that don't understand that, when I was explaining it to him, when a clear indication of a player who everyone believes is not that great of a shooter, whenever they use a screen, they go under it, that tells you this person is not that great of a shooter. I don't know anyone who's a great shooter and also a great driver to the rim, and our defense is go under their screens. No good shooter. Now, you ain't got to be great, but no good shooter has players going under their screens. None. You can't name one. Like you literally cannot name one shooter that on purpose the team was like, we're going under their screens for 4 straight quarters for an entire playoff series. That does not exist, young disciple. It don't exist. If you're going under their screens, they can't shoot. Or they can't shoot well enough to beat me. We're going under their screens. Is LeBron a great driver to the rim? Yes. Are most superstars a great driver to the rim? Yes. Is LeBron probably one of the greatest drivers to the rim? Yes. 6'9", 270 with speed like a point guard and can jump out the gym? Yes. That's a dangerous person going to the rim. Right? But if I go under that screen, I don't give you the opportunity to get to that rim. But if you was a good shooter, I couldn't go under your screen. We would have to double you and get the ball. Like, we have to do something else. It won't be playing screen and roll straight up and we just going under the screen and meeting you on the other side. No, it wouldn't be that if you could shoot. Right? That's all I had to say. Right? All I had to say. And I opened the phone lines because I see the young disciple in the comment section. He's the one who made that argument. I want to know if he still believes that LeBron is a better shooter than Kobe Bryant. And the only reason why people went under LeBron screens is not because he wasn't a good shooter, but because they didn't want him to get to the hole. We know it was because he was not a good shooter. If anybody disagree, you can disagree. I want to hear it. I'll let you. I won't even argue your point. I already argued my point. I won't even rebuttal. I just want to hear it. I just want to hear that nonsense. Call in and let me know. Who's this? Am I crazy? Said last 10 games, LeBron 19.4 points, 21% from 3, 68% from free throw. That's disgusting. 68. That's like Bo Outlaw. 5.1 turnovers. Lord have mercy. But he had a triple-double, so that wipes all that out. Remember, a triple-double is like a magic wand in basketball. If you're not winning, if you're not winning and you're not playing defense, it's okay, because that magic wand of a triple-double erases everything and all the bad things in basketball. Turnovers, no defense, and losing erase all of that if you get a triple-double. LeBron got a triple-double last game, 39, 11, and 10 or something like that. And his fans talked about his triple-double more than they talked about the fact that they on a losing streak, the fact that LeBron don't play no defense, and the fact that he's averaging 5 turnovers a game. 5 turnovers, losing, no defense. Forget about it. Triple-double erases all of that. Like a magic wand. Imagine that. Just imagine that. That's real logic to them. Real logic. Can't understand it. Can't understand it. So with that being said, though, since we're on the topic of triple doubles, another triple double guy. This guy had a 56-point game tonight. Let me look at his stats, because I think he did get a triple double tonight. Let's see if he did. Because it's a lot of things that's going on with this Nuggets team and Jokic, and a lot of conversations around the MVP and all this stuff. He almost got a triple double. 15. He had 16 rebounds and 8 assists, 5 turnovers, 5 fouls, 0 blocks, 56 points. Right, that's Jokic's stat line. There's a couple of people on Twitter and other social media accounts that really root for Denver and love Jokic, and they on the Jokic is the best ever hype train, and he's the MVP every year hype train. And they've been criticizing his teammates all year, especially Jamal Murray. His teammates are not good. And I'm like, man, why do people act like they need the best teammates to have a good team? Like, he won a championship with these same teammates. He lost his bench. That's a huge thing. Like, his bench actually came in and kept things popping. Bruce Brown, Caldwell Pope went, well, he was kind of starting, but Bruce Brown off the bench, Jeff Green off the bench. They were huge for Denver. They lost both of them dudes, right? That takes a toll on your squad when you start losing pieces. I remember when Boston won, I thought they had such a good team with a core three of Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Garnett, but they won a championship, and Rondo was a starting point guard, but the backup point guard was Sam Cassell. And this is a guy with championship experience that he earned in Houston with Elijah Wan and all these guys. Robert Ory, hit big shots in those playoffs as a youngster. So he's been around. So to see him come back and play so well as a backup with Boston and win, that was huge. But they also came off the bench with Posey, right? Posey was great defender, smart, high IQ basketball player. And then he hit big shots from three, and he was good. Long 6'9" defender, James Posey was. They had him. They had Sam Cassell. They had PJ Brown coming off the bench. PJ Brown, tough guy, rebounder, defense. That was good. So PJ Brown, James Posey, Sam Cassell were really three key bench players in that championship team. And so after the championship, Sam Cassell retired, PJ Brown retired, James Posey didn't get re-signed, and Boston never won another championship. So it's very important. Your bench is very important. You don't need all-stars all over your roster. The only reason why we believe that is because that's what LeBron taught us. Right. LeBron taught us that you just need a stack all-star. You got to have big names, all-stars, and all this. Like, when you look at Michael Jordan, somebody today was talking about who was they talking about? Right before we went live, I had just seen this somewhere. And there was an argument. Someone was talking about Curry. And it was on Sports T. I was listening to Sports T. One of her callers called in. And the caller was making a point about Steph Curry and was like, Steph Curry, everyone in his starting lineup except Andrew Bogut was drafted by the Warriors. And he said, but none of those guys could get their own shot at an all-star level except Steph Curry. And I'm like, and what does that mean? Like, do you need 5 Steph Currys on your team? Do you need 5 guys who can get their own shot at all-star level? Right, because when I look at the Bulls and Michael Jordan, Luke Longley, he was competent if you threw him in ball in the low post. He had a nice jump hook. But other than that, what shot was Luke Longley going to create for himself? What shot was Rodman going to create for himself? Pippen? Maybe. I'll say Pippen, one. Ron Harper, ish. But for the most part, it was Mike. Why the heck do we always think we got to have all the best players for stuff to work? And that's what Jokic fans are screaming now. Jokic ain't got no help. That's a LeBron argument. LeBron, if you got a good team built around you and your strengths, this is the issue with hero ball, right? Because that's what Jokic plays, hero ball. That's what anybody plays who decides that I'm going to be the person that's going to get the assist. Either I'm going to play point guard like Luka, even though I shouldn't be a point guard, or I'm going to play point forward like LeBron because I don't have the skill set to play off the ball, or I'm going to play point guard like Harden. Like these guys who play that, but also say, not only am I going to run the offense and pass the ball to get all the assists, I'm also going to take all the shots. So I got the green light. I can take step back threes. I ain't even got to pass the ball. I can get the ball, bring it up court, get a screen, get a mismatch, and then go one-on-one ISO step back three. I only have to move the ball. We don't have to pass. 0 passes in a possession and a 3-point shot. The ball never got in the paint. Oh, and oh, by the way, if y'all actually double them and I pass it, when I pass it, you better shoot it so I can get the assist. That's called hero ball. You're not running no offense. You're just playing hero ball. Here's the issue with hero ball. You don't need a hero unless someone needs to be saved. When Lois Lane falls off a building or when Lois Lane get kidnapped by somebody, then you need a hero. Superman needs to come save her. But if you don't have a horrible situation or a hostage situation or a situation where someone needs to be saved, you don't need a hero. So players that play hero ball need a lineup that needs to be saved. Because if you play hero ball and you got all-stars beside you, then you have no need to play hero ball. That makes sense. Like hero ball means I got to do everything myself because y'all can't do it. Right? So you got a decision to make. If you want to play hero ball, you better not get nobody that want the ball on your team. That makes sense. Like if you playing hard in hero ball, but you got Paul George and Kawhi on your team, they don't need heroes. That's why Harden wasn't playing hero ball when Paul George and Kawhi was there. But now that Kawhi is not there, he's hurt, and Paul George left in free agency. Now he don't have those two guys. Now he has to play hero ball. Now he's got to be a hero. All right, so I say all that to say this. Stop complaining that Jokic don't have help when the way he plays, you need a team of guys who can't. Like you need Aaron Gordon. Hey, Aaron Gordon don't have a bag for him to go get his own shot. So I'll just run the floor and let Jokic set me up for alley-oops and stuff like that. Caldwell Pope don't have a bag. I just catch and shoot. Right. Christian Braun, I ain't got no bag. I catch and shoot. Like when you surround yourself with those type of players, you do it purposely. Allen Iverson, if Allen Iverson go take 35 shots a game, you can't give him a co-star like Carmelo. That's why it didn't work in Denver. Carmelo Anthony takes 30 shots a game, and I don't need him to be my hero. So now Iverson he didn't look as good as he did in Philly when he went to Denver. And Denver wasn't as good with Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony as they was with Andre Miller and Carmelo or Chauncey Billups and Carmelo. Like Andre Miller and Chauncey Billups was a better fit for Denver and Melo than Iverson was, because Iverson has a hero game type mentality and a hero basketball game. And if you play hero ball, you're going to need some duds around you, right? All right, YouTube user said that Nuggets fan, not complaining about no help. Team is playing subpar, which has multiple issues. Yeah, y'all let y'all bench go. Right? Y'all let y'all bench go. But this is about the MVP. So despite Jokic putting up these huge numbers, and these numbers he's putting up is actually better numbers than some of his MVP seasons. So some people are automatically putting him as the number one candidate for the MVP. But here's my thing. There's no way a player that's one game above 500 and in the 9th seed, right? Let this sink in. The Suns have won one game without Kevin Durant this year because his injuries. They've only won one game without Kevin, maybe two. They might be like 2-9 without Kevin Durant. He's missed double-digit games already, right? He's missed half the games. They played 22 games. He probably missed 10 or 11 of them. And the Phoenix Suns only got wins in 2 of them. They are still a game better than the Denver Nuggets. And the Denver Nuggets, and we talk about how bad the Lakers are playing, and they on a losing streak, and they've won more games than Denver. Denver Nuggets is still only one game ahead, a half a game ahead of them. So the Suns aren't playing that good without Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant hasn't been there half the time, and the Lakers are just not playing good at all, and Denver Nuggets is down there. and their best player ain't missed no game yet. So I'm trying to figure out how he's the MVP sitting in the 9th seed. I don't go below the number 4 seed for my MVPs. And when I look at the top 4 teams in the West, the Thunder, they have an MVP candidate, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They're number 1. The Mavericks moved up to number 2. I just now moved Luka back into my mix at number 5 on my MVP ladder. The Grizzlies, now Luka, is going to be hard for him to stay at number 5 or move above that because he's missed games. I need to see him, go another stretch and continue to perform, and his team continue to win basketball games. And I think he can stay at that 5th spot. But if he's just playing offense and that's it, and he's not playing no defense, he won't move up from my 5th spot. He'll probably slide down if someone else emerges, but he won't move past 5 playing one half of the court, especially when the candidates above him are playing both sides. So I got Luka at 5. Then you got the Grizzlies. I don't have anybody from the Grizzlies as a candidate. And then you got the Rockets, who's playing very good, but I don't have anybody from the Rockets. So on the West, I got Shai and Luka, right? And then on the East, I got the Cavaliers, the best team in the league. I got Donovan Mitchell as my number 1 candidate for the MVP. My number 1 candidate, best record in the league. He's leading them in scoring, and he's performing. He went head to head against Boston, and he lost 1 and won 1. The one they lost was a close game. He outperformed everyone in that game, but they lost because they got a slow start. But when they played Boston again, they beat Boston, and his 4th quarter was amazing. Then he goes after that and plays Denver, who's supposed to be another MVP candidate. According to Kia, he's the number 1 candidate. So he goes and faces the number 1 candidate and whoops them and performs well. So these head-to-head battles with the candidates, I look at those like marquee matchups. Winning those matchups helps you kind of, get a little bit of notoriety when it comes to my format on how I look at the MVP. I got Donovan Mitchell number 1. This is the first week he's in my number 1 spot for MVP. But I got him 1. I got SGA number 2. I got Jason Tatum, who's the 2nd best team in the East, 19-5. They lost tonight though. Jason Tatum, I got him at number 3. Now, my number 1 candidate doesn't play the defense that my number 2 and my number 3 candidate plays with SGA and Tatum. But the fact that his team has the best record in the league and he's beating them head to head, including Jokic, I can make that exception for that. Same thing with Luka not playing both sides, but if his team was the number 1 record in the league and he's outperforming all these other MVP candidates when they face head to head, I would have to bump him up, right? But for now, Mitchell's 1, SGA is 2, Tatum is 3. Tatum was number 2 for me for a while. He just dropped. SGA is up there. I'm tired of seeing Boston drop these games. I need Tatum to be able to carry his team like he should, man. So Mitchell 1, SGA 2, Tatum 3, and this is surprising to y'all, right? Because the 3rd best team in East is the Magic, and then the Knicks, and then the Hawks. Hawks is a 5th seed. I'm putting Trae Young in there. Man. Leading the league in assists. They on like a 4 or 5 game win streak right now. They surging. I like what I see. So there it is, man. But my 4 and 5s are not that important. My 1, 2, and 3 are the real. Those are the real candidates. 4 and 5, they really on the outside looking in. But SGA, Tatum, and Mitchell, they're the only ones that really got a case in my book with my criteria. Ain't no way in the world I'm putting a 9th seed, a team led by a player that's got them in the 9th seed. That's not an MVP. That is not an MVP. I'm sorry. But I can tell you what Jokic will win. And that is the Offensive Player of the Year award. The averaging a triple double, yes. Give him the Offensive Player of the Year award. That award doesn't exist yet, but I'm making a case for the NBA to create the Offensive Player award so we can get the confusion out of the MVP award, because MVP does not mean who puts up the best stats. That's not what that means. Value is relative to, you know, something substantial, something that makes sense. You know, it's got to be something that's substantial. And, you know, so your value can't be just I put up stats. That's not value. Oh, I put up stats and, you know, I put up stats. No, that's not value. Value is I provide this, and it has to be linked to a end game, right? The end's supposed to justify the means, and the end's supposed to be team success. The end's supposed to be winning. If your team isn't successful, how can I take your value and say it's more valuable than the guy who is successful, right? If for my team to be successful, I need to play great defense and score 25 points, and that means that we go win 75% of our games, that's success. But if you're telling me a guy that scores 35 points and plays zero defense is more valuable because 35 is more than 25, somebody got to help me understand that. Like, really, somebody got to help me understand that. And Greg, you might be right. There's a case for SGA to be the number one. I got him 2 right now behind Mitchell, but there's a case for him to be 1. There really is, man. But yeah, ain't no way in the 9th seed because of a triple double. And then this is the crazy thing about it, because when you think about 7-footers and centers, you know, they got 2 like everybody got a role in the job on both ends of the floor, right? If you're a 7-footer and you're a center, automatically we're expecting, if everything was a perfect scenario, if you're a 7-footer and you're a center, I'm relying on you as the last line of defense and rim protection in my defense. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm hoping that you can give me, because everyone needs a 7-footer that can protect the rim, because there's going to be a lot of people trying to get in there and get points off dribble penetration, and even if the guy that you're guarding at center wants to score down there, your defense has got to be there. So that's the first thing. Like when you first start playing basketball in middle school, high school, AAU, whatever the case may be, and you got a really good coach, those first 2 days of tryouts, they don't just roll the ball out and let you scrimmage. They want to see who's in shape first, because that's an easy way to weed people out. If you're not in shape, you fat, you're not conditioned, you can't run, you can't keep up, you really can't be in my offense. And I really ain't got time to get you in shape. You know what I mean? I really, you know, you fat. Go play football or something like that. This ain't for you, right? So a lot of running. I want to know who's in shape, who got wind, you know, who can handle a lot of running, right? And then we're going straight to defense, defensive drills. I want to see this. I want to see that, right? Because it's like real coaches want to know if you can D up. I need my guys to be able to D up, right? And then you'll see some scrimmages. All right, who can play? Who can just play, right? Then we roll the ball out there. But you got to do that part first. You got to play defense first. First of all, you got to show up in shape, and you got to play defense. The crazy thing about it is we're giving Luka credit for being one of the best players in the league, and he's already failed at the basics, showing up in shape and playing defense. He's failed at that. He's already failed, right? So my 7-footers, I'm expecting rim protection, right? That's your role. And then on offense, if you're my primary scorer, then what Jokic does is fine, because Jokic is not a guy that shoots too many threes, even though he can shoot the 3. He goes in the paint, he goes in the post, he's back to the basket. He's a lot of things, right? So you're already giving me what I need on offense as a primary scorer. And then if you're a rim protector as a 7-footer on defense, you giving me what I need. That's my baseline, what I need. Anything above that, well, and rebounding. You're a 7-footer. I need you to clean the glass as well. So those 3 things is what I expect for my 7-footers, right? Once you do that, you're solid. Anything beyond that is extra. Like if you're Chris Webber or Divock and you can pass the ball, you're Sabonis, you can pass the ball well, that's great. Because if I get the ball in the post and the double come, I can trust that my big man know how to make a pass to a shooter that's going to be timely, on target, and in the shooting pocket. That's all I need from my big man. Can you pass out of the double team, right? But playing point forward and getting 10 assists a game, I don't need that because that's what I got point guards for. Right? I don't need my 7-footer to do that. So when it comes to Jokic, part of the allure of why people are so fascinated that, just give him the MVP because like, man, I can't believe a center can pass as well and is getting 8 assists a game. But what he's supposed to be doing as a 7-footer rim protecting, he don't do. And then as a rebounder, he's getting 10 rebounds a game as a 7-footer. That's cool. So now you finish the triple-double. Your scoring is on point. You good with your scoring. Your rebounding, Robin was 6'8", getting more rebounds than Jokic. Let me see who leads the league in rebounding. Let me see what Jokic is. Because the rebounds ain't even impressive. And that's what he's supposed to be doing primarily. That's what he's supposed to be doing primarily. And I'm like, man, I need to see some 18. Now he do it. He had some games like that recent where he cleaned the glass really good, but I'm not. He's getting. He's rebounding a lot better this year. All right, so I take that back. Rebounding a lot better. All right, he's getting 13 a game, but that's what I need. Score the basketball, clean the glass, protect the paint, rim protecting, whatever you want to do. Protect the paint, post play, post defense, protect that paint, block shots. He's not doing that. Right. So I wouldn't even be letting him run point forward. I'm sorry. I got a point guard for that, buddy. I got a point guard for that. All right. So that's part of the reason why, it's hero ball. If you're doing something that you don't even need to do. Jamal Murray is fine with running the offense and getting the assists. It doesn't have to be Jokic. It don't have to be Luka. It don't have to be LeBron. That's just hero ball, man. He said, bro, you just hating right now. You're not saying anything we don't already know. How's it hating? How's it hating? Do you want your 7-footer to protect the rim or no? All right. Do you want your 7-footer to protect the rim or no? And the crazy thing about this is he's not a good defender in a league where it's only 3 centers that can really score, and he's one of them. It's only Sengun and Embiid, and Embiid don't even count no more because I think his knees are so bad that we might not ever see the Embiid we seen at the beginning of the season last year. We might not ever see that Embiid no more. Right? So it's really only 2 centers that can score, and Jokic is one of them. So he ain't even got to. Like, how you not a good defender in this league when you ain't got to defend nobody like that? Right? So now Jamal Murray is – somebody was telling me that Jamal Murray was better than Kyrie Irving just last year. And a top 5 point guard in the league. And now he's supposed to be trash and washed now. Well, how good is Jokic if Murray was the one? Like, because I remember when Pippen back was bad, the Bulls still won a championship. I remember when Pippen missed half the season at the beginning, and the Bulls still had themselves in the playoff hunt with home court advantage. Right? So y'all got to stop rewarding. Like, come on, man. We can't reward losing. 11 and 10. You're 11 and 10 and you want an MVP? Kia really made this man the lead leader for MVP. He's number 1. He's number 1. He said Mel don't know ball when Jokic on the floor, they had the best offense in the NBA. With him off the floor, it's 30th. Defense is agree. But offensively just stop I said Jokic got offense on lock, but let me explain to you how your team can go from a good offensive team when you're on the floor to a bad offensive team when you're off the floor. Hero ball. If you make the offense revolve around you, how the hell is it go operate without you? Don't they make that don't make sense to you? If you make yourself the single point of failure, when you remove you out of the situation, it's designed to fail. So if you put a player on the floor and design an offense where he's going to get all the points, all the shots, and all the assists, when he goes sit down, then what y'all do? A totally different offense? That's Denver's fault. You never let a player do every role that's important on offense. It's always been one or the other. Make up your mind. If you're Magic Johnson, you can score. You scored all throughout high school, all throughout college. You can score. But when you come to the league and you're the point guard and you got a gift to pass the ball, and then you got a teammate in Kareem who ended up with the most points in NBA history, and then you got a James Worthy that can score, and you got a Byron Scott that can score, and you had another shooter, I forgot his name, that could score. Why the hell do we need just scoring? So what Magic Johnson decided to do is, I'm going to be a pure point guard. I'm going to get up and down the floor, and I'm going to feed all my scores. You pick one. Michael Jordan, when Phil showed up with the triangle offense, he said, Mike, I'm taking the ball out of your hand, because before that, Mike was trying to do hero ball. And Phil said, you're not going to play hero ball. I'm taking the ball out of your hands. And the triangle offense is really going to run itself, but I'll make Pippen a point forward. So you got Pippen, who was a point forward, and you got Michael saying, I'm going to be the guy that get the shots and take all the shots and score the points. Why do you want to be both? Look how dangerous the Bulls are. Michael Jordan is the scorer. Pippen is the facilitator. I got two guys doing two different things, or two guys doing separate things. So now you got to figure out how to stop Pippen and Jordan, instead of, oh man, it's only one guy that's doing everything. Everybody else is standing around waiting, and there's one guy's doing everything. You only got to figure out how to stop that one guy. Heliocentric offense around one guy is the worst offense in the world. That's why Phil didn't run it. That's why Pat Riley didn't run it. That's why Spoelstra don't run it. That's why Popovich don't run it. That's none of the good coaches that are winning runs an offense like Jokic, Luka, Harden, LeBron. The only way it works is if you get a super team. And then any offense work with a super team. But even then, with that super team, if you face a team that's playing really good offense and got a really good star like Dirk, you can lose to Dirk and a 59-year-old Jason Kidd and a Tyson Chandler that only block shots and rebounds. You can lose to that with JJ Barretta and Jason. You can lose to that because you're playing a flawed offense. 5-man out, high screen and roll, retardedness, childish. That's just childish to play that offense. You can lose to that if you got to play like LeBron. So yeah, that's why. All right. So yeah, I don't know basketball. You're right. I don't know basketball. But I do know that the Denver Nuggets are 11-10, one game above 500. I know the answers on why, because they're running a horrible offense. But your answer is that everybody on the team is trash except Jokic, and he need all-stars. Like, I was talking to another guy, and I asked him, he was on one of my videos in the comment section. I asked him, I said, why are you saying that Jokic ain't got no help? What you think he needs? He said he needs an all-star level point guard. I said, what is Jamal Murray? He said, Jamal Murray is not an all-star level point guard. I said, okay, so you want to trade Jamal Murray and get an all-star level point guard? He said, yes. I said, all right, here are the names of the point guards that made all-star last year. I think it was like SGA, Steph Curry. If you add Luka as a point guard, Luka. As a matter of fact, I picked up the roster from the year before last. It wasn't last year. So it was Kyrie Irving was on there, Tyrese Halliburton, names like that, right? So SGA, Kyrie, Luka, Tyrese Halliburton, Dang, give me some more names who made All-Star. But those are the names. An All-Star level point guard. I said, man, hey, which one of them you think Denver can get? He didn't respond. So basically what you're saying, because you can't get Dame Lillard, can you get Dame? You can't get those dudes. So basically what you're saying is Jokic just ain't gonna win no more. If you need so much help, why you just can't play good basketball and play good defense and win? You don't need all-stars. You need one good co-star that's an all-star level. He only have to make the all-star every year. Especially if you're the best player in the world, like everybody telling Jokic he is. One guy, right? And this offense was these players that he was playing with, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., that was just fine when they won the championship. What's wrong with them now? Oh, Tyson, that was you that said that? Oh, interesting. All-star level. All right, so give me as a matter of fact, I'll open the phone lines up. You can call in. We can have this conversation. I'm glad that was you. I didn't know that was you that said that. Yeah, call in. Darren Fox, all this stuff. So you need the best. So you need, it was probably, let's say it was 6 point guards that made All-Star, maybe 7 or 8. Let's say it was 8 All-Star level point guards. Darren Fox, Ja Morant, even if they didn't make the All-Star, but All-Star level point guards. Ja Morant, Kyrie Irving, Luka, SGA, Darren Fox, Dame Lillard, maybe even Drew Holiday. You can throw him in. Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young, names like that. How you go get one of them dudes? Who's giving away an all-star level point guard? And you have one of those already. Jamal Murray is on that level. He's better than Tyrese Halliburton. Jamal Murray is a really good basketball player. I mean, I'm hearing names Bronson. I see LaMelo Ball. Like, seriously, that's what Jokic needs. And let me ask you this. The better the player that gets in Denver around Jokic, the less that is necessary for him to play hero ball. So either one or two things is going to happen. You get this LaMelo Ball. What do you think LaMelo Ball will do in that offense? Do you think he wants the ball? Like, Jokic is a good passer from center. But if you got LaMelo Ball is a way better passer than Jokic. I mean, he's a pure point guard. He passes phenomenally. And he's a good floor general. And he runs the floor well. He's faster than Jokic on the break. And he's not an off-ball player. He can do it because he's good, but his best attribute is having the ball. So if LaMelo's going to have the ball, what is Jokic going to do? What happens to Jokic's assists? Because if I'm LaMelo, I'm not about to come over here and sit and stand in the corner like Caldwell Pope was doing. I'm not doing that. You better be glad Jamal Murray can catch and shoot, because he'll get off the ball every now and then and let Jokic do his thing. And yes, Jamal Murray is better than Halliburton, 100%. Halliburton is not that good, man. He's mid. Cade Cunningham better than Halliburton. Halliburton's not that good, bro. Not that good. Darren Fox better than Halliburton. Brunson's better than Halliburton. Kyrie's better than Halliburton. It's a lot of point guards better than Halliburton. LaMelo Ball is better than Halliburton. He's not that good, bro. He definitely mid. So y'all better be glad Jamal Murray can get off the ball and shoot the three. Doing all that complaining, man. Jokic just not leading y'all to wins right now. You can't blame everybody. Y'all doing what LeBron fans do. You blaming everyone around Jokic. It'll be Mike Malone next y'all complaining about. Y'all blaming everybody around Jokic. Give Jokic some of that blame and take him off that freaking MVP ladder in the 9th seed. Because what they're trying to do is move the goalpost for MVP again, like they did when he won his first one when he was in the 6th seed. Oh, it's okay that he was in the 6th seed because Michael Porter Jr. was hurt and Jamal Murray was hurt, and he still made the playoffs in the 6th seed, so give him MVP. And he almost averaged a triple-double. He was playing even worse defense then, and the defense was causing them ball games. And it was in the 6th seed. But just because he was a center who averaged 8 assists, they gave him the MVP. So they moved the goalpost for him when he was in the 6th seed. And then his second MVP, who was a number 1 seed, he earned that MVP. Then his second, then did he get a? I think I guess Embiid got the next one, and then he got it again last year. So he's got 3. I think he only earned 1. He earned 1. He didn't earn that first one. Kyrie's a point guard. Young disciple. I'm sorry. He plays off the ball because Luka wants to play, had the ball in his hand, but Luka's not a point guard really. He's a small forward. Kyrie's a point guard, right? I'm just sorry to inform you on that, but yeah, people's roles are different, because Kyrie was a point guard in Cleveland, but he played off ball a lot too because LeBron wanted the ball a lot. Right, so he played off the ball some, but just because you play off the ball a little bit, listen, Young, I understand what they got Luka listed as a point guard. He's not a point guard. He's a forward. He's a small forward that handles the ball like Draymond. They want him to be a point guard. He's not, because, like I said, I value defense, so I don't just look at basketball as one side of the ball. I look at both sides. And when you play point guard, just because you got the ball and you start the offense with the ball in your hand, don't mean you're a point guard. Point guards, to me, actually have a certain role, but more importantly, point guards can defend other point guards. And it's not one point guard in the league that Luka can defend. So what happens when Luka is on the floor, quote unquote, playing point guard, they always have to put a off-ball player like Kyrie who can actually guard the point guard. Before Kyrie was there was Brunson. Brunson's a point guard, a pure point guard. They had him playing 2 guard off the ball and when he was in Dallas. But they need to have, even the bench players, they had Hardy. He plays off the ball, and he's like probably shorter than Kyrie. It don't matter what point guard they get on the floor, they're not allowed to actually operate in their role. They just got to play off the ball, but they stay on the floor with Luka because Luka can't guard the point guards, right? So until Luka actually plays point guard purely and actually just really run the offense and stop taking 50 shots a game, and then when he starts defending point guards, then I say he's a point guard. But he's a small forward. He's a small forward. And ain't no debate about that. Kyrie's a point guard. He's been in the league 9 years. He's been in Dallas 2-3 years. So he's been playing off the ball for about 3 years, but the other 6 he's been playing point guard. Then at Duke, he played point guard. He's a point guard. Right? Use common sense. All right. Last topic. Last topic, the GOAT. So Jamal Mashburn, and this interview is not new. This is a hold on. Can Luka guard forwards? No. Yeah, good point. Luka can't guard anybody, but he can guard a cone. And that's why on defense, he always guards whoever is in the corner, because that person that's in the corner is not going to move 9 times out of 10. Right. So, yeah, that's a good point. All right. So let's get into Jamal Mashburn's conversation on JJ Redick's podcast. And this is kind of old. This is probably a year old, maybe. And I remember seeing it a while back. I don't even know if I ever did a video on this or not. I don't think I did, but this is not my first time seeing this, but I wanted to bring it up. And this was also inspired by a conversation I had on my podcast 2 nights ago with Young Disciple. And I can't remember if it was on, I can't even remember what show it was on, but Young Disciple had said LeBron has the best or the highest IQ in NBA history or something like that. And he was like, Magic said his IQ was high. And I told him, I said, look, dude, all the superstars are in the same, they're in the same area as far as how smart they are as basketball players. That's why they're superstars. Like they didn't just show up and was like, man, I'm so good and talented that I can be the dumbest guy with the lowest basketball IQ, but I can still be a superstar because I just make buckets. The reason why they're so good is because they are that much more smarter and determined and all those things, right? So they all are kind of like on the same level. You can't put one above the other one. Just once you have a high IQ for sport or for basketball, y'all all in the same area. Either you're A plus or B or C or D or F, right? And I think LeBron is an A plus IQ guy as far as basketball. He knows he knows his stuff. He's learned a lot. But you gotta learn, because coming in as a rookie, it's impossible for your IQ to be as high as someone that was a vet like Michael Jordan, right? Or like Kobe, because Michael Jordan went in the league when LeBron got there. But somebody like Kobe, his IQ was off the charts. And I don't think LeBron was nowhere near Kobe when he first came in the league. He's got to learn the NBA game as well to get smarter, right? So, Rondo IQ super high, Garnett, like Tim Duncan, like you can't tell me that the only A plus IQ that we've seen was LeBron's. Like that is insane to think that, right? But what we do have is that we don't have a narrative following all these players trying to big up things that don't matter, right? And that's the reason why the narrative is out there about LeBron and his IQ, because like I was saying earlier in the show, when you're insecure a little bit, you got to create stories for yourself to kind of prompt you up. And that's what Clutch Sports and LeBron does. And that's why you always hear things like he's a great family man, because we got to find these ways to puff him up right after or right before we say that he's not better than Mike. He's not better than Mike, but he's a great family man, a great father, a great husband. Or he's not better than Mike, but he's an all-around basketball player. He's not better than Mike, but he's got a high IQ. He's not better than Mike, but it's just all these little things you got to throw out there. And I'm like, dude, that's not unique to LeBron. Like everyone has a high IQ when you at that level. But listen to Jamal Murray, how he talked about Michael Jordan.
But as a player, I had the fortune to play against Michael Jordan in his last All-Star game when he was a Wizard. And Mariah Carey sang and all these different things. She was wearing a Wizard's dress and everything like that. But I got a chance to spend time with Michael Jordan, and we played one-on-one. You know how you're before the layup line and different things like that. And I always knew Michael Jordan was great. But when I chatted with him and he was able to break down my game analytically, Jamal, you like to go left 80% of the time, pull up with the right hand and different things like that. But then he gave me a solution. Go right 2 or 3 times in the game, and then gave me a story. He said, Dr. J and Larry Bird passed something down to me to play the game within the game. And I said, well, what are you referencing? He was like, well, in the game sometimes I'm not just going to score, it's how I'm going to score. So Jamal, if you go right 2 or 3 times in the game and you make a pull-up jump shot or right-hand layup or whatever it is, you're balancing out your game. You're keeping the defense off balance. And this man went through every All-Star and chatted about what their strength and weakness is off the top of his head. And I sat there and I was like, I thought I knew a lot about basketball, but he's on a different level from how he looks at it, scouts it, observes it, implements it. And that, I want to say probably 6 or 7 games after the All-Star break, I implemented that, scored 50 on the Memphis Grizzlies just by turning the other way. And he was like, and we saw him again playing the Wizards, and I think he had 40 or something, and I had 39. And he was like, damn, I gave you some stuff to think about and you implemented. I was like, yeah, I really appreciate it. But just his insight and knowledge of the game. I see LeBron in that same regard of being able to pass along information and being a student of it, but also being able to communicate it, teach it to others, and just not preach it, if that makes sense. So Michael Jordan to me is always going to be one of my favorites.
There you got it, right? Not often people talk about players in the past about how great their IQ was, because it was already a given that we understood that they were above and beyond the rest of their competition as far as when it comes to knowing the game. And another thing that I like about what Michael said, because he didn't try to school Mashburn on the final points of the game and then take credit for it like he was the end all be all. He told Mashburn, this is what Magic and Bird passed down to me, because these are dudes that are before me. Right. And which is what I like about Mike, because when he talks about things in public, even when they talk about the GOAT stuff, and he'll say, I never say that I'm the GOAT, because he know, like, how can, Kobe Bryant said the same thing, and I'm glad they both said it, because Kobe used to be competitive like that and want to be like Mike and want to be better than Mike and all that stuff. But when he retired and they asked him, he said, man, that's the greatest of all time, man. That's Mike, man. Don't compare me to Mike. He said, I just want to be myself, you know. And he said that while he was playing too, when Stephen A. Smith asked him, he said, I just want to be as good as I can be. I don't want to be compared to Mike, you know. And you know, after he retired, he said, I can never say I'm better than Mike, because I've called him so many times and got advice from him. It was like I would be stumped about certain things and be like, let me call Mike. Like he said, Mike was like a dictionary or encyclopedia to him. The information was there. He was like a library. And he would say every time he called them with a problem, Mike had the answer to it. So imagine at one point coming in the league saying, I want to be just as good as Mike, or I want to be better than Mike. I want to win just as much as Mike. And you want to do all that stuff. And then you start asking him for advice and you start noticing, I'm the best version of myself right now, and it's things that I don't know. And when I call Mike, it's that simple for him. He got the answer, and when I implemented it, it actually works. He was like, that is crazy. So for you to know that someone has so much more knowledge than you, how can you then come back and say you're better than that person? That's why Kobe stopped participating in that GOAT stuff. He was like, I don't know. Don't put me in there with Mike. I've gotten so much from Mike. I've gotten so much knowledge from Mike. No, I'm not better than Mike. Well, Mike was the same. He don't ever say he's better. He says it's disrespectful for the guys that was before me to say I'm the GOAT. It's for y'all to talk about, and I won't ruin the conversation for y'all, which is good. Because yeah, we like having a conversation and talking about it sometimes or whatever. But Mike is like, nah, I'm not gonna disrespect the greats. Now, what he said at a house party with just them and Magic was in there, nah, I whoop y'all tail. Yeah, that's competitive nature. But the respect factor comes in when, no, I'm not about to go out in the public and say I'm the greatest of all time and disrespect all the guys that came before me and look dumb, especially knowing I've gotten advice from them dudes. Magic and Bird has given me several tips, which is what I'm passing down to Jamal Mashburn and whoever else want to ask Kobe and whatever the case may be. Scottie Pippen, I'm pretty sure as well. So that's respectable. You can respect it. And Mashburn was saying, look, man, I thought I knew a lot. When I started talking to Mike, I knew I realized I didn't know anything. But Mike gave credit to Bird and Magic for what he was giving Mashburn at that time. It's like, this is what they told me. And this is what the generation is supposed to do. You're supposed to pass that junk on to the next generation. right? So it's disrespectful that anybody would come out here and say that they're the GOAT and just kind of like crap on the generations before them and the greats that they standing on their shoulders and the people who laid the foundation and stuff like that. You just don't do those things. And we got players and we know players who've done it. Right. But yeah, the IQ thing is not unique to LeBron. It's not unique to Magic. It's not unique to one person. It's not unique to Michael Jordan or Kobe. All of them dudes at that level, Stockton, Malone, Barkley, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, Pippen, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Penny, all them dudes that was on that superstar level, they're not dumb. They're not low IQ basketball players. Dennis Rodman, very high IQ. They're not low IQ basketball players. Please stop believing the hype. Please stop believing that nonsense. They're all high IQ basketball players, and I'm never going to say one has the best IQ of all time. I mean, we give LeBron credit for being the best family man, the best dad, the best husband, the best to stay out of trouble. They want to give him the best player. They want to give him the highest IQ. Like, where are these titles coming from? It is insane, the insecurity that's oozing out of a LeBron fan because the guy that they're fanatic of is insecure like that. So I get it. But that's it. That's the show. I appreciate y'all for jumping in here, man, on this live. I know it was late or early, wherever y'all might be at. But other than that, what is today? Be Sunday, football. Maybe I'll come in here again tonight. Try to get in here a little bit earlier then. So we can get some phone calls in here. I know it's late and people don't want to make phone calls and wake people up in their house, but I catch you on the next stream, man. Peace.